Hello, everybody. This is Christina Fasonic Greer, and I am right now just trying to pull up the handout that we're going to use while we're live. Today, we're going to talk about how to friend your inner beast. This is a concept that I learned about through this great Tibetan teacher, Soltram Alioni, and she has this wonderful book out called Friending Your Inner Demon, or Finding Your Inner Demon, or something like that. And basically what she's trying to do, or feeding, that's what it is, feeding your inner demons. And what she's trying to do in that book is to get people to think about, well, what would it be like if instead of continuously combating the things that ail us, the things that vex us the most, what if we made friends with those things and accepted those things and tried to figure out what those things that are haunting us really want from us? And so I'm getting ready now to pull up one of my documents so that we can do a screen share. And so if you're just tuning in, just hang out, and I'll be with you in a minute as soon as I find it. It's in here somewhere. I've been having trouble with my browser for the past half an hour as I've been starting this up. So it'll take another minute maybe to pull up my page. So bear with me. If you have your workbook, go ahead and open it and get ready, especially with the image that you have of your inner demon, your inner beast, so to speak. So let me see if when I open PowerPoint, what it does. If I can't do it that way, then I'll just broadcast live and just talk to you from the screen. I really wanted to use my PowerPoints though, because I was afraid that I might forget something to I've been having trouble with Firefox. I've tried to restart this using Chrome, but I haven't been able to do it. So I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to, instead of trying to do this using my PowerPoints, I think I'm just going to do this live, just me talking to you, because, oh wait, now it's allowing me access. So this is very good news. Here we go. So thank you, those of you who've joined me. Please do send some chat my way. I will try my best to talk with you through the process and to answer all of your questions. I want to pull up the PowerPoint so we can get started, because I really hate it whenever somebody has a, they're doing some kind of presentation and they spend so much time just getting ready and just sitting there. It just drives me nuts. So hopefully everybody's in there, and I just wanted to talk you through the slides first, and then I'll get back to you and try to answer all of your questions. And so in this, and what we're doing here, friending your inner beast, healing your food addiction through embodied writing. You know, people, I think, and this is me included, spend so much time doing things called fighting their inner beast, or objecting to, or going to war with their inner beast, that they sometimes forget that maybe there might be another way. And that's what this workshop is about. So this is me. I'm Christina Fasonic Greer, PhD, the optimistic food addict. And I want to tell you a little bit about myself, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on that because I know a lot of you already know who I am. I have 20 years of college teaching experience. My research focuses on personal writing and healing the healing process, as well as the mind-body split and developing body love, which has been so important to me. I started working on this healing the mind-body split officially in research and writing without even realizing that I had an eating disorder all the way back in something like 1995 or 96. I did suffer from, and still do, I suffered from my eating disorder for 28 years before I sought help for it, before I even realized truly that I had this affliction. And I am the author of more than 30 books, including 3 written specifically for food addicts in recovery. One is called The Optimistic Food Addict Recovering from Binge Eating Disorder. It comes out in September of this year, but it's available on pre-order. And if you look on the side of your screen, you will see a bunch of different ways that and links to if you want to find out more information about the books I've written. If you want to continue doing the kinds of things we're going to be doing today, the kinds of activities we're doing today in our work shop, you can order the Optimistic Food Addicts Recovery Journal and Activity Workbook. I know a lot of you have already got that in your hands, and I love the things that you keep sending me in private message. Share, share, share what you're doing in that workbook. I also did Coloring for Recovery from Binge Eating Disorder, original art and writing prompts for healing that really focuses on some original art I did, and that picture that's on the cover there is one of my images that I created. And so that's a little bit about me in case you're wondering who I am and why I'm giving this workshop. So today, here's what we're going to do. You'll learn how to identify your inner beast, which in this case is eating disorder, but this concept can be applied to anything that's bothering you, any addiction, any trauma, anything that's troubling you. You also learn how to find out what your inner beast wants, how to find out what you want from your inner beast, how to feed or nourish your inner beast, how to let your inner beast go or help it transition to becoming an ally in your recovery, which is what happened to me when I followed this process. And of course, why? Why are we doing all of this? So, some concepts here. There are 2 really main ones that are coming together to inform the practice that I'm going to explain to you today. Feeding Your Inner Demons by Soltram Alioni, who, as I mentioned before, is a Tibetan monk, and I'll tell you more about her. And Embodied Writing Therapy for Eating Disorder Recovery, which is something that I have created. And as I say here, both Alioni and I both have created our work based on the work and the teachings of others. And I love that about teaching and research, how we build on the ideas of others to enhance what we're doing and to make our work come together in some way to help other people. So who is Soltram Alioni? She is this awesome person that I stumbled on her work one afternoon when I was talking to my therapist, and she said, you know, maybe you should try to read up on what she has to say, and I devoured her work and absolutely loved her and immediately put her theories and practices into my own practice. She was born in Maine in 1947. She became one of the first American women to be ordained as a Tibetan nun. Lama Soltram focused her teachings on the lineage of Makik Labradon, the 11th century Tibetan yogini who founded the Cho lineage. That's how you say that. C-H-O-D is actually Cho. And then she went on to create this book, Feeding Your Demons, Ancient Wisdom for Resolving Inner Conflict, which is what I base part of this workshop on. So here's a little bit about what she did. She says that we really get nowhere when we battle our demons. She looks at the myth of Hercules, and some of you may remember him. He had this incredible lineage. He's half god. He goes and battles a snake when he's just a year old. You know, the snake was sent there to kill him by this woman who was in love with his father and all I mean, this crazy stuff. He has the 10 battles of Hercules, or the 10 trials or labors of Hercules, where he goes around the world fighting all kinds of different monsters. But she asks this question. Yeah, so he does subdue his enemies, but she wonders for how long? Is he going to have to live the rest of his life battling his enemies? Yes, he does. She notes, rather than ever achieving final victory, we, and that is Hercules and us, become engulfed by the struggle which holds us captive. What she says is that we end up focusing so much on the battle and the struggle that it becomes the thing that we're battling and struggling against, and not the actual root of it. In contrast, she notes the approach to feeding rather than fighting our demons provides a way to pay attention to the demons within us, avoiding the dangers of repressing what we fear inside ourselves. Facing and feeding our demons avoids the creation of a raging monster that wreaks destruction both in us and in the world. So, feeding your demons, the steps. So, basically, Alione has 5 steps in her book. Step 1, find the demons somewhere in your body. And I'll explain these as we go along because I have added some additional theory and practice to these. Step 2, personify the demon and ask what it needs. Step 3, become the demon. Step 4, feed the demon and meet the ally. And step 5, rest in awareness. And so those are her 5 basic steps, which she does an excellent job explaining in her book, Feeding Your Demons. I really recommend that if you want to learn more about Alione's approach and about the concept behind Cho in general. So, friending your inner beast, a twist on Alione's concept. So here's why I'm giving this workshop to you instead of Alione. After reading Alione's techniques and the theories behind them, I felt there was much potential here for food addicts in recovery, so I combined her 5 steps with embodied writing practices that asks readers to dig even deeper. So we're taking it to yet another level. The remainder of this workshop will focus on the practice I created with Alione's work as the backbone, and I call it friending your inner beast. And of course, I get that from the idea of Facebook and social media, where you accept a friend request. So all this time, I believe, and was true for me, that your inner beast, that your eating disorder has really been sending you friend requests saying, friend me, friend me, friend me. I've got something valuable to add to your life. Don't battle me, don't hate me, but friend me. And that's what this is about. If it does not work for you the first time, keep trying. Even Alione says it might be necessary to repeat these steps over and over for the best results. But I can tell you, I did this process one time, and it changed everything for me. If you downloaded the workbook, go ahead and open it to page 1 now. And let's talk about step 1, depicting your inner beast or your eating disorder. If you haven't already done so, now is the time for you to depict your inner beast, either in a drawing or image you found online. Personify your beast. Give it 2 arms and 2 legs. Give it eyes and a face. What does your eating disorder look like? What color? What shape? What size? What is it wearing? If you aren't good at drawing, then write down these qualities. The most important thing is to develop the image in your body and mind. Is your eating disorder scary looking? Is it funny? Is it quirky? Let the image flow. Think about it. Where is this in your body? And I'll show you mine here. Christina's inner beast. So it has antennae for reading minds, a third eye for detecting future danger, which was very, very important when I was a little girl growing up, because I had no idea whether my dad was going to be in a good mood or a bad mood when he got in. And so I really, really developed this quality of being able to detect when things might be going to go bad. And I would have to either hide under the bed or I could still sit at the dinner table. A big smile for hiding the pain, food stains from eating too fast, and extra arms for fixing the world, which is one of the other things about my eating disorder that came about to me as time went on, that I want to fix things. I sense things are wrong and I want to fix them, not just for me, but for others. So while you're working on that, if you haven't already drawn a picture of your inner beast, I'll give you a few minutes to do that. I'm going to click out of my big screen and see if anybody has any questions for me. So if you've got any questions for me, I think that you can, yes, go into chat and ask. Yeah, I'm over here in chat if you want to chat with me. If you want to know anything right now while you're working on this, let me know. By the way, can you hear me? It would be helpful to know. So if you haven't already done this, do give it a minute. I expect that a lot of you will return to this video as we go along. And after we're done, just to refer back to some of the things that I'm teaching you. At least I hope that you will. So I'm going to give you another minute or two just to sketch out what you think your inner beast looks like. And I've grown actually quite fond of my inner beast as you see it there on the screen, this purple monster. And so hopefully you will be able to create something that is more like that beast inside, because you have to remember your food addiction, your eating disorder doesn't hate you. It came about as a way to rescue you, to love you, to make you safe. And so your representation of that beast, wherever it is in your body, however it's represented, should look at it from a multidimensional perspective, because your inner beast really wasn't there and hasn't been there to be cruel to you, even though that's what food addiction represents itself as it goes on, but rather as a way to save you from everything awful in life. And so let me go back to my screen share here, and we'll take a look if it lets me. Let's see. There we go. Let me see what's going on with this. As you can tell, I still have this terrible scratchy voice that I haven't been able to shake, this horrible cold I've got. So hopefully I'm speaking loud enough for you to be able to hear what I have to say. So we're back to our big document again. And so in step 2, ask your inner beast what it wants. On the next page, or in your workbook that I sent you, write down the questions you want to ask your inner beast. Alioni recommends you start with these 3. What do you want from me? What do you need from me? And how will you feel if you get what you need? And my inner beast was very, very clear in answering those questions. He or she, that my purple beastie, has no gender that I know of, said to me, I want you to be safe. I need you to promise me that you are safe and that you're okay. And then I added a few more questions that I wanted to ask, and did ask my beast. What purpose do you serve? Why are you here? How long have you been here? My inner beast said that she's been there, or he's been there all along. And again, that the main purpose is that this beast wanted to save me from beatings, from abuse, from the nasty things in life. And so that's how it came about. And I believe, and I've come to believe this a little bit more as I've gone through therapy of my own and done my own research, that really the inner beast is a part of myself. I guess in Freudian terms, it would be like my id, maybe, or perhaps even superego. I'm not really sure exactly. But really, it's a part of myself. And it's this part of me that's been trying to save me from things, trying to take care of me. I say all the time that although having food addiction has been and is an awful, tragic thing, I know that that food addiction has saved me over and over again from killing myself, from doing harder drugs, from all kinds of other things. So ask your inner beast, find it in your body, and ask it what it wants. What does it need? How will you feel if you get what you want? So step 3, this is you becoming your inner beast. In Alioni's work, she suggests that once you become your inner beast, that you switch places with it, like literally physically get up and move to the other side, so you're having this one-on-one conversation. But I think writing takes the place of that. Of course, you could do both. But for me, I asked it the following questions. Once I got in to that space, I then asked that beast and listened to the answers to the questions. What do you want from me? What do you need from me? How will you feel if you get it? What purpose do you serve? Why are you here? How long have you been here? So that it becomes a dialogue. You actually take the place of your inner beast in this step and become an embodiment of that inner demon or that inner beast. Step 4, friend your inner beast. So come back to yourself again and see the beast in front of you or on your sheet of paper. So imagine it in your mind's eye or look down at the sheet that you drew. And this is the interesting part that Alione, I think, brings to this whole workshop. Dissolve your body into nourishing tea that has the properties of the feeling the beast would have if it was satisfied. Feed the beast to complete satisfaction. So the question here, and she uses the term nectar, I think, as opposed to tea, but I thought given that we're food addicts, we might not want to deal with nectar because of the sugar implications to that. But imagine, making your body into some kind of really nourishing, wonderful tea, and then feeding that to your inner beast so that it feels what it wants to feel. What does the beast want to feel? How would it feel if it was satisfied? So as you're drinking in this nourishing tea, what properties or what feeling would the beast have if it was satisfied, if it was happy, if it would be willing to not push you to compulsively overeat? And for me, that feeling was safety, security. It wasn't, happiness. It was more contentment, safeness, security. So as I imagined drinking that nourishing tea and feeding it to my inner beast, that's the kind of emotions that were coming up. I want to feel safe. I want to feel secure. I don't want men staring at my body. I don't want to be touched. I don't want to be physically assaulted. I want to be safe. I don't want to be yelled at. I want to be loved. I want to be treasured. I want to be honored, safe, secure. So those are the things that I was thinking about when I was doing that action myself. Then, right, how does your beast look now? What feeling did you feed it? How do you feel now? How do you feel now that you have done this action? You've given your inner beast this nourishing tea. Do you feel liberated, free? Do you feel the feeling that the inner beast was trying to feel? And I know in my case, when I got to this point, I felt safe and secure. Step 4. So now meet your new friend. Alione says in her book that sometimes, in fact, often this inner beast will just disappear. And for some of us, I think the idea that our eating disorder would disappear is strangely scary. If your eating disorder wasn't there anymore, then what? And I think that fear is one of the things that discourages us from having a deeper recovery, a better recovery. So what happened to me was my inner beast became my ally, which is something that Alione says might happen. And how that worked for me, and I asked these questions. If your inner beast is still there after your session, and my inner beast was, then ask it the following questions. How will you help me? How will you protect me? What are the terms of our new relationship? What can I do to make sure that your protection will not involve urging me to have compulsive eating behaviors? And what tools can I create or use to ensure that we remain friends? And for me, these questions came out the answers came out in a big stream. And the terms of our new relationship, mine and my inner beast, is this. So when I check in with my inner beast and I'm like, okay, why are you pushing me to overeat? Or why do you want me to go and eat something that I know is going to make me eat compulsively? What is that about? Why do you want me to eat when I'm not hungry? And I realized that my inner beast was telling me to do that because really I wasn't taking care of myself. And so the terms of our new relationship is that I have to listen to the inner beast and the inner beast has to listen to me. And so if my inner beast tells me, hey, maybe you want some chips or something or whatever it is, um, then my response is to find out why. And a lot of times it's because I'm exhausted. Other times it's because I'm lonely. Other times it's because I am overwhelmed. And so I need to figure out not just why this inner beast is calling me to overeat, which is its way of saying, I'll take care of you. This will make you feel safe. I'll make you better. When in reality, what I need to do if I'm tired is go to sleep. What I need to do if I am lonely is call a friend. What I need to do if I'm overwhelmed is make a list and try to prioritize things and get things done off that list instead of procrastinating. And so that's the new role that my inner beast plays in my life. She, he, whatever is there to tell me, take care of yourself. That's really what the inner beast was trying to do all along, is take care of me. And I have to tell you that when I did this workshop for the first time with myself, it was incredibly overwhelming. I cried um, because partly I was afraid that my inner beast would be gone forever and never come back. But in reality, I learned that my inner beast was there all along to protect me. And so I have to listen. And so things like, what are the terms of our new relationship? You have to sort those out for yourself with your inner beast. Well, how can you make sure that your inner beast is not going to make you want to eat compulsively again? And what do you do if that voice comes up and says, hey, do you want to eat compulsively? Instead of fighting it, try to find out what it wants and give it what it wants. And a lot of times that's more rest, more time to yourself, more meditation, um, better quality food, um, hanging out with your friends more, getting things on your list done, and so forth. So what tools can I create or use to ensure that we remain friends? I think there's a lot of tools, things like meditation. You might need a food journal. You might need a sleep schedule. So instead of staying up on your cell phone until 2 o'clock in the morning reading Facebook posts, and I'm guilty of this too, you might want to set an alarm and say, okay, when this alarm goes off, I'm done. I got to go to bed. I have to take care of myself. And so developing those tools is really important. In fact, it's something that I'm talking about in my new book, which covers my recent recovery from relapse. And so step 4, continuing that, now answer the questions. How will you help me? How will you protect me? And so forth. Step 5 is reflection. As a writing professor and as someone who has studied writing as therapy, this is really important to me because you have to figure out what you learned from the experience that you just did in it's the only way that you can process it, learn from it, and transfer that knowledge. So in your journal, in your workbook, you need to answer the following questions. What happened during this experience? Do you feel like this exercise helped you? In what ways? Do you think you will have to do it again? How do you feel right now? And I can tell you, when I ended my session with my inner beast, I was crying, but I also felt an immense physical and mental and spiritual release. I felt like a weight had been lifted, that something happened in my body, in my mind, in my heart. And so those are the steps that I've created to this workshop, and using Alioni as a way to enter into this. She does say in her book that you could use this for food addiction or for eating disorder, but she doesn't really go into a lot of detail about how you would do that. And so that's where I came in, to take her teachings and add my research and experience and my own teachings to it. So I hope that this was a helpful exercise to you. I will be posting this video on YouTube on my channel, which is where I think this might be listed. But it's, if you look for Christina Fasonic, you'll find me on there, Fasanick. It'll also be posted in the Facebook group Food Addiction Recovery and on the Optimistic Food Addicts Facebook page. So it'll be out there if you want to watch this again. Also, I'll send you a link to it in a follow-up to everybody that signed up for this workshop today. So if you're interested in doing more activities like this, I do have a couple books, The Optimistic Food Addict's Recovery Journal and Activity Workbook, which is on Amazon. It's also on Etsy, on Bookishness Crafts, which is like, it's only $1.99 on Etsy. It's more expensive on Amazon just because it's in full color, and it's actually a pretty good book from what everybody said so far. Also, The Optimistic Food Addict, which is my memoir, it will be out in September, but it's already available on Amazon for pre-order if you're interested in it. I have put these links and the link to my coloring book in the side panel here on Google Hangouts if you want to take a look at it. So that is the end of that part of the workshop. And I want to stick around here though and go back to, wait a second. Hey, it's me. Sorry, I'm in my office downstairs and the lighting is really pretty bad down here. So if anybody has any questions for me, I would love to entertain some of those. And I apologize that I look so rough, but I am just now coming out of a really, really bad virus, and everybody in my family was sick, and I still sound really hoarse from it. So if you have any questions, I would love to entertain them. You can talk to me over here in this chat box. I would be glad to answer questions that you have. If not, I'm going to sign off. And again, this video and our interaction in the workbook and in the workshop, it'll all be available online, and I will send everybody a link to it later this afternoon. So thank you, everybody who joined in. I hope that this workshop was great and that you learned something from it. Please give me feedback. I'd love to hear what you have to say. If you'd like me to do more workshops like this about things that I've learned and applied myself, I would be more than happy to give that to you. Just let me know. I'll talk to you later. Bye.